Well, hello, my Instacart community of support for both customers and shopping. This is your new friend, Sarah, also known as Goldilocks. Oh, I love my Goldilocks robe. See, I take my being a Goldilocks seriously. Hmm. Actually, somebody gave me this robe because I said I was a Goldilocks, and so I love it. And so, welcome to my bathrobe edition. It's like having a cup of coffee with a pal that does Instacart, and we talk about the trials and the adventures, the benefits, and all of the fun stuff of being an Instacart shopper. And we try to enlighten, support, help each other. Sometimes customers ask questions. There was a great thread a couple of days ago, and a customer, was asking about tipping, and I suggested that the flat tip just really works for us because when you do a percentage, like I had an order for BJ's yesterday, and they wanted the baggy steam thing, closure thing. It was $30. And of course, it's out of stock. So, the tip goes down percentage wise. Actually, it was a flat tip, but I've had it with like Flonase, Prilosec, other like allergy type things that are expensive. And when they don't get it, your tip goes down unless it's a flat tip. So I don't know how the customer does it, but you can tell that it's a flat tip because it says like $10. And then if you had exceptional service, when your shopper gets there, you could leave a little envelope, like if you really appreciated the work they did for you through the shopping. And so that's how that is appreciated, how it works for most of us. We'd love a flat tip. No matter what the shop is like and the inventory and replacements and all of that goes, we still get paid for doing our work. We don't get much from Instacart. It's no different than, all the years I was considered a waitress. Now, of course, it's called server or bartender. And we were getting, like, I remember it was $1.87 an hour. So you depend on the tips. And that's how Instacart is. It's just up to us to kind of come out with things where we can enlighten customers as to we are not make when you're charged all those fees, that's the luxury service of Instacart, where they take your credit card and one of us does the shopping and we do all of that, but we really aren't compensated for our work. Instacart really makes, the boatload of money off of you. They have the agreement with the retail stores on how much they get off the top. Has nothing to do with us. For most of us, we have a decent car that has enough space. It's licensed, or we're licensed. It's insured. We fill it up with gas. We get to the store. We use our body, our mind, our skill set to shop for you to get you all the items. We watch the cashier and the bagger like hawks to make sure they don't screw it up at the final, after we've carefully picked out your asparagus, carefully picked out the tomatoes that are just right, the bananas that are just right, the lettuce that isn't all wet and soggy underneath, after we've done the meat, after we've done all of that. And then you get to the bagger and it's like, whee! I told you about the one that threw my 5 pounds of potatoes into the cart. I just blew the jugular. Anyway, so the flat tip really helps a lot. So anyway, we meet here. I try to do it Monday through Friday, and we have a little cuppa, and we talk about what's going on. And so I guess this is about tipping and how we do it. This isn't bashing, it isn't a no tip, no trip type of thing. It's like when the customer asked, what is the best way to give a tip? And it's almost at 100% for me. When somebody tips well in the app, if they hand me cash at the, at the delivery, like they stick their hand out the door with an envelope, or it's held someplace, or there's a rock on top of it, something like that. Those are the ones they appreciate the service aspect of the whole Instacart experience. Because really, there was one lady that was getting a little bit snarky with me, and it's like, are you an Instacart shopper? Well, no, she wasn't. She had her opinion of how we should do it. And I always think that before, you get an opinion about anything in life, but about being an Instacart shopper, you should put on some Instacart shoes and go do a few rounds of the aisles. And that way you'll have a better understanding of what it's like on our end. I don't mean that in a snarky, testy, terse way. I just mean, just like being a customer. Some Instacart shoppers are customers, and, they get their experience too, and how the shopper treats their trip. If you get a 5-star shopper, you're really, really lucky, because I guess, some people that are shoppers don't necessarily do a 5-star service. And that's too bad, because it would be really nice to know that everybody is at the same level. And I hope that with videos like this and channels like this on YouTube, and maybe Facebook groups too, that we all learn to be the best that we can be at what we're doing. And there's the best customers, and there are the best shoppers. And if you're not where you think at your best. Now, when my rating was trashed, at the beginning of the year, like right after Christmas, I had just a very nasty man, and then another one from someplace. And Instacart, just for the customer to know, they say do 100 orders to get rid of that rating. Now think about that. I'm 70 years old. I am ready to do my Instacarting from 6:30 in the morning, and I go till 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 7 days a week. So it's over 40 hours a week. But sometimes those trips, it just means, under 30 a week. So it takes 3 weeks to a month to get to that low rating, because somebody didn't like what they got, how they got, that the store was out of something, and they took it out on the shopper. There isn't a more punishing, awful feeling than to know that when somebody's shopping for something. I had an order on Sunday a couple days ago, and there were probably 15 items on it. And as many of you know, it's like, do they know? Does heaven know? We're right in, we're going to take one more. It's just, less than 20 items, a decent tip, close to home. We'll bang it out and just, call it a wrap. Just that's the day. And doesn't it become the shop from hell, right? This is out, that is out. I mean, the order, it began in produce. They didn't have the right bag of lettuce, and that was the last I heard from him. They didn't have what he wanted, garden salad bag, and they didn't have it. They only had veggie lovers bag, and he said, that's okay. And then I never heard from him again. No 80/20 hamburger. They had it, but it was all 50% off, which to me, such a deal. I mean, I've bought burger and not cooked it for 2 days fresh. So what's the difference? It was ground yesterday, and I'm going to use it today. Make a soup, make a meatloaf, make a meatball, right? Or just have scrambled hamburger and a spaghetti squash. That's what I do a lot. And then, so he didn't answer me on the burger. Do you want 90/10? Do you want 85/15? Or do you want the 80/20 that's 50% off? And then every single aisle had a thing that he wanted that was out. It must have been a crazy weekend for this particular store, and a lot of the items were gone. So, I was at about the 7th of the 14 items on his list. And I contacted Instacart and I said, these are all out. These are all out of stock. I said, I'm really feeling that I'm not doing a service for this customer. I feel bad. What should I do? And they say, refund. That's what this agent said. And I didn't want to spend a lot of time with him or look for another one. And so I just refunded and apologized from here to Sunday, pun intended, on, why I was sorry for all the out of stock items, that they must have been busy. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I was in that position of wanting 14 items and half of them were out of stock and he wasn't answering me. I just, and Instacart didn't like cancel the batch for me. It was one of those moments. I felt really, really bad. But they said refund and I kept apologizing. I brought it to the house. I apologized one more time. And my rating was still intact when I woke up the next day, which was nice. But that's not always my goal. My goal is to satisfy everybody's shopping list, right? And when they aren't quick to replace, I think that it was easier in the summer months. Now, as I record this, of course, it's spring, but I think it's easier in the summer because they have the overnight clerks. They may not have the overnight clerks. And there's been a sign up at all the grocery stores that I shop at here on Cape Cod, for help, especially overnight, that they pay $1 more. And so maybe they want the overnight stockers, but they just don't exist. I don't know. I don't know where everybody's working. Maybe they're all doing Instacart. But anyway, back to the whole thing is that when you get a flat tip, it's really nice if you're a customer wondering, a little something something at the door. If it was exceptional service with your shopper giving you 5 stars all the way through, keeping you abreast of where they're at. I do that sometimes when somebody has like 25 items in produce, and when I finally get through there, it takes like 40 minutes of protecting all their items and picking out the best ones with no lumps, bumps, bruises, or milky stuff, wet stuff. I say, wow, I'm done with produce and on to the aisles, right? And I just like to do that. It just, it keeps them abreast of what I'm doing. It's nice when they're there too. But so that's my video for the day. I've got other little ideas here. I will be recording more and you will see me again. But that's it for today. Flat tipping, way to go. And doing the best we can when it comes to the shop where things are out of stock. If you're a customer and you're listening to this and you feel frustrated, after about the 6th trip that I've done and all the stores seem to be, shelves are emptied, we got your feelings on that one. We get it. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Sarah with Instacart Pearls of Wisdom. I'm so glad you're here. I'll see you here the next time. Bye-bye for now.